Is anyone here from the Long Ditton or Hersham areas? Good. You've done some good stuff in your areas, which I'll come on to. I think everyone would agree it's really important for everyone's physical and mental health to get out into green space. And I want to introduce you, remind you of 3 legally protected areas of green space, which incidentally are much better than Greenbelt. Even before this government issued its new planning guidance talking about grey belt and non-performing green belt, it was under attack because any developer could say there are very special circumstances we need to build 500 houses. And I accept the nation needs more housing, but it makes that all the more important to protect what we've got. So the first is village greens. Now if you say that, everyone will have a picture in their mind, nice triangle in the middle of a village, the church, the pub, 2 blokes in white playing cricket perhaps. And in general conversational terms, that's a village green. I'm talking about a legal concept. Strictly speaking, they're town or village green because they can exist anywhere. And the idea is if people have been freely able to access a green space, actually needn't be a green space. There was a recent case of about 200 square yards of concrete that led down to a river, and the kids played there and they watched the boats go by. Anyway, the greens in law, the village greens in law, and there are 44,000 of these in England and Wales, so there are an awful lot of them. And if people have been freely able to access to play there, then that becomes in law a protected space, a village green. In fact, we have one of those recently, One Tree Hill in Long Ditton, which I was mentioning. It's a lovely area, it's a big area, about 10 hectares, 25 acres of lovely open space. And it's accessible from most points of the compass, an awful lot of back gates from gardens as well. And for over 20 years, people have been playing there, walking there. You have the scouts and guides up at the top, flying their kites and playing games. And then it was bought up by Taylor Woodrow. Panic. Anyway, 2 very enterprising local people immediately realized the danger, and they applied for status as a village green, and they won. It took about 7 years, a lot of fundraising. Developers had an impressive KC at the public inquiry. I gave evidence along with a lot of other local people. We've got that established as a village green, and people can continue to walk there, which is good. So that's the first one. Second one is commons. Now these are generally much bigger areas, and we're really rich in Elmbridge in commons. I mean, just locally there's Oxshott Common, there's Esher Common, there's Ditton Common, there's Old Oak Common I can think of. And these are, again, protected very carefully by law, like the village greens. It is very difficult for a developer to get past that designation. If he wants to use that land, he's got to find an equal amount of land, equally suitable for the local community. You try and find that in this area. So they're very well protected. Commons aren't created much nowadays, they're mainly historical leftovers. But again, Elmbridge is a huge area of commons. My 57%, which you had as Greenbelt, I have as an area of commons and accessible open land. And again, there's an awful lot of that in Surrey. Surrey has more commons than any other county in England. So that's the second one. I should say that apart from open spaces, I represent the Ramblers. I'm the footpath secretary for Ramblers in Elmbridge. And the third most important thing I'm mentioning is the public rights of way. And to most of us, that means footpaths and bridleways. Again, these are legally established things that people have walked for 20 years and more. And they are very carefully protected in law as well. Now, of course, they are linear routes, but they enable you to get to some wonderful countryside. Footpaths go through woods, through farms, through forests. They're often great historical links. They're linking up one village and another. Or from the church. If you ever look at a canal bridge on an ordnance survey map, it's often with footpaths linking out in all directions. So those are 3 really important things. Greenbelt, yes, it does help, but it's not as much protection as it used to be. Those three are very strongly legally protected, and it's really important people are aware of them in order to protect them. But in Hersham, we added a footpath there, Turner's Lane off Burwood Road. Not anyone knows it, but again, a very nice circular walk. A lot of people took, and then it was a property developer who lived nearby who put a gate up. Didn't want people there because he wanted to do some development. And again, it took about 7 years, went to a public inquiry, but we won that. And so that is a footpath added to the map. And ramblers do a lot of that, and also simply cutting back vegetation so people can still walk along those paths. An awful lot of brambles grow in a summer like this. So those are the three things. Please use them, bear them in mind, be alert to any bit of greenery in your area that isn't currently protected. Thanks.